Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you all rise for the presentation of colors by the United States Marine Corps, our national anthem, and our flag salute. Gentlemen, remove your hats, please. Will Miss Win Nguyen come forward for our flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence in honor of Danielle Settles, who would have graduated this evening with her class. Also, please remain standing for the marching off the colors. Please be seated. Welcome to the 26th Annual Steel Valley High School Academic Commencement. The faculty, administration, school board, and community are proud to present the class of 1997. These groups have had the responsibility in developing the young ladies and gentlemen before you. At the awards assembly yesterday, accolades and financial award were accorded to those that excelled. The faculty, administration, and school board, using their talents and quality education techniques, are here this evening to honor our graduates. Will these groups please rise for your acknowledgement? To begin our program, the musical selection for this evening is the haunting piece Mountain Majesty by Paul Yoder. To conduct, Mr. Bradley Thompson. To give the 1997 welcome address is a most talented young man who will further his education at Carnegie Mellon University. He earned a quality point average of 4.230. At the awards assembly yesterday, he was honored. In addition to academic record, he was outstanding in athletics, community service, and the teacher's model student. Underclass students will hopefully emulate his demeanor. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1997 salutatorian, Mr. Scott Pasula.
On behalf of the class of 1997, I would like to welcome you, our parents, relatives, friends, faculty, and administration, to the 26th annual commencement exercises of Steel Valley High School. As everyone knows, time passes quickly when you're having fun. And for the majority of us, the years we've spent in high school have been some of the best we've ever had. We, the seniors, would like to thank our parents, friends, and especially the faculty for providing us with a rewarding learning experience which will carry us into the future. I would like to thank my fellow classmates for making these past years some of the best years of my life. I wish all of you the best of luck in your future, for it starts now. To paraphrase the Pittsburgh Pirate great Willie Stargell, always remember, we are, we can, and we will. Thank you.
Our next speaker will deliver the academic address for 1997. His cumulative quality point average is 4.256, tops in the class of 97. This young man, a dedicated athlete who was never satisfied with mediocrity. This young man, a dedicated scholar who used spare moments solving incredible difficult math problems. This young man, a student whose inquisitiveness kept teachers very alert. This young man, a recipient of the Presidential Merit Scholarship at Carnegie Mellon University. This young man is Mr. Robert Gallagher.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Class of 97 graduation ceremony. We would like to thank all the people who have made this possible for us. Teachers, school board, superintendent, principals, counselors, deans of students, parents, and let's not forget each other, our fellow classmates. Without them, our school experience would not have been the success it was. Most of the seniors are happy to be on their way. They have worked hard and deserve to be recognized today during this graduation ceremony. The students have gone through high school with a lot of their friends. Some participate in sports, clubs, or other activities, but all of them have good times that they will always remember. Yet not all of the days of school were fun and games. In fact, most of the time we were hard at work in our scheduled classes. We spent many grueling hours doing work in classrooms and out, so we could learn and gain knowledge that will help us later on as we move into society. We must not forget to thank the people that helped us to get here today. Our parents for bringing us up and giving us a chance to make it through school. The teachers from grade school on up, for without every single one of them, we would not have had the base of knowledge that we will use to gain more wisdom as we grow. And the rest of the staff that help support us, help us through high school, and prepare us for our future. Although now we must move on. Some of us will go to college, to vocational schools, directly into the workforce, and there are others that still are not sure. All are leaving our familiar school to go into the enormous world, taking with us the knowledge and skills we have learned at Steel Valley. We are going to have a chance to experience things we have never experienced before. We may find new interests, make new acquaintances and friends, and even lose old friends you thought you would not be able to live without. Still, we must move on. Fellow classmates, we now embark on a journey. We may not know where it leads, but we must try hard to reach the end. Only with what we have learned and what we will learn will we make the journey a successful one. So keep pressing and do not give up. We all have the ability to succeed. We just need to harness it. Good luck and good night.
Members of the business department were pleased to select Denise as the top business student of 1997. Her expertise in this challenging and changing field was noted the past 4 years. Her cooperation, determination as a student was blended with her ability to adapt to a change in a discipline that introduces newness swiftly. Please welcome the 1997 Business Student of the Year, Miss Denise Schmidt.
Some time ago, we entered a phase in life that seemed to bring with it a whole new world. Now, once again, we are about to enter a different phase that will challenge all of what we have learned in our years of schooling. In the world today, there are so many opportunities available to us, but we alone must decide whether or not to act upon these opportunities or let them pass us by. Today, we face a business world that is rapidly growing and changing. As for us, the business leaders of the future, we have been well prepared for whatever the future holds in store for us. Still Valley has given us all the opportunities and resources necessary to ensure secure futures in its ever-changing business world. Now it is time to take all these skills we were given and put them to use in the business world. It will not be easy, but if we work hard and strive to reach our goals, we will become the successful business leaders of tomorrow. As we graduate tonight and always, the friendships and memories we have shared will be cherished forever in our hearts. The knowledge, skills, and training we received at Still Valley High School will become the stepping stones on which we tread to achieve our goals in the technological world of tomorrow. Thank you.
The superintendent at Steel Valley has known the class of 97 for 5 years. Keeping avenues open between student government and school board activities is strong forte both groups take pride in. Welcome now the superintendent of the Steel Valley School District to address the class for the final time, Dr. Ronald Grimm.
Members of the Board of School Directors, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, parents, and friends, I am delighted to welcome you to the 26th Annual Commencement Exercises of the Steel Valley School District. And I am especially delighted to introduce to you the Steel Valley graduating class of 1997. And to the graduates of 1997, permit me to be the first to congratulate you for your efforts that have brought you to this point. Tonight, we celebrate a very festive and a very joyous event. It's an evening filled with excitement, anticipation, and happiness. And tonight, as you pass through these symbolic arches, we celebrate the completion of one set of learning experiences, and we celebrate the beginning of your new learning experiences. And as Scott mentioned, tonight, your future begins, and it begins inside each of you. And tonight, I'm going to place a challenge before you, a challenge based upon the statements of Eleanor Roosevelt, the great crusader of this century. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And tonight, graduates, I am encouraging you. In fact, I am daring you to accept this thought as the driving force for you to become a dreamer and to do the thing you think you cannot do. I dare you to visualize the great thoughts about your future and to do the thing you think you cannot do. I dare you to visualize the great achievements that lie ahead of you and do the thing you think you cannot do. The challenge that I'm offering you this evening is to reach deep inside yourself and beyond yourself and become the best you can be in your life and in your careers and do the thing you think you cannot do. I dare you to begin to think those deep thoughts inside of you, to do the thing you think you cannot do, and then make a difference in this world. I dare you to look beyond what others have called impossible and find the possibilities. I dare you to look beyond the limits that have been imposed by someone else's thinking, or else we will never know what lies ahead. It's only by testing and by questioning the limits of your minds that you will become a force for change. Tonight, graduates, I am daring you to dream. The future is about the endless possibilities ahead of you. It is exciting. It is full of opportunities, and the only way to move is to move forward. Graduates, remember the words of Eleanor Roosevelt. You must do the thing you think you cannot do, because your future will belong to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I dare you, I encourage you, and I challenge you. Be a dreamer and do the thing you think you cannot do. Good luck to the class of 1997, and may God bless you on the journeys ahead.
To introduce this evening's honored commencement address speaker is the president of the Steel Valley School Board. Her civic commitment to the community and school is admirable. Her energy and dedication to the students is hallmark. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mrs. Robin Guy.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker this evening. He is Jeffrey P. Berger, President of Heinz USA Food Service, a billion-dollar affiliate of the H.J. Heinz Company and their largest operating company. By the way of background, Mr. Berger graduated from Munhall High School, class of 1967. He attended California State University and graduated with an undergraduate degree in special education in 1971. He furthered his education at California, receiving a master's in education in 1974. He also taught at Peters Township High School for 2 years and the business school at Duquesne University for 4 years. He started his career in 1974 in the purchasing department and later transferred to the marketing area, where he became general manager of marketing in 1982. During the next 7 years, he held several senior management positions in acquisitions and mergers, marketing and operations until his appointment to vice president, a role he held until he became president of the billion-dollar company in 1993. Mr. O'Reilly, Heinz chairman and CEO, recently stated that no one has fueled the growth of the H.J. Heinz Company over the past few years like Jeff's company. Additionally, his company finished their third consecutive year as the #1 operating company at Heinz with their fiscal year ending in April. Over the years, he has been active with several charities, including Boy Scouts of America, Epilepsy Foundation, and Myasthenia Gravis Association. He has served on the board of directors of both Braddock Hospital, Jefferson Hospital, and currently is on the board of directors at California University of PA, where last year that university awarded him the W.S. Jackman Award for Distinguished Alumni. Additionally, he recently was elected to the board of the prestigious National Restaurant Association, a rare appointment for someone who does not own a restaurant but supplies them. He is married to Beverly and has 2 children, both in college. Jeff's mother and sister still reside in the Munhall area. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Jeffrey P. Berger, President and CEO of Heinz USA.
Thanks, Mrs. Guy, for the very kind introduction. Dr. Grimm, faculty, alumni, parents, my family members, and most importantly, the members of the class of 1997, thank you for inviting me here this evening. As Mrs. Guy mentioned, I'm president of a billion-dollar company, Heinz USA Food Service, as well as a graduate of the Steel Valley class of 1967, or Munhall as it was known in those days. These days, I'm known as the head of a company that is a world leader in the food industry. But I assure you, 30 years ago when I sat here, I was a kid who did what was necessary to get by with a C or an occasional B in the classroom. In the 3 decades since I sat where you are now, I've had literally a world of opportunity and experience, not to mention a few lessons along the way. In my job with Heinz, it's not often that I have the opportunity to speak to a group of people such as yourselves, and I hope to leave you with a meaningful message that each of you might remember now and as you move through life. As I prepared for today's speech, I knew it would be important to pass along a thought, a phrase, or a piece of advice, no matter where you travel, live, or work, would always hold a special place in your heart, and that's no small feat. As I sat thinking about this in a New York hotel room, I remembered the words of Conrad Hilton, the founder of the Hilton hotel chain that I was staying at, and a man that virtually revolutionized his industry. In his later years, and after decades in the hospitality industry, Mr. Hilton was asked by journalists to share the most important lesson that he had ever learned. Ever the visionary, Hilton replied, without hesitation, always place the shower curtain inside the tub. Okay, so that's not what Nobel Prizes are made of, but nonetheless, wisdom is a matter of perspective. So as I begin tonight, I want all of you to remember that wherever you go and whomever you're with, always ask for twice as much ketchup. The Chinese have a saying, may you live in interesting times. In a society that reveres continuity, it's considered a curse, but I consider it a benediction. So today, I'd like to focus on change. All of you are indeed blessed to be living in interesting times, times marked by rapid changes in technology, in communications, in politics, economics, and in business, that are reweaving the cultural fabric of virtually every society on the face of this earth. Your future will be spent seeking your place in these interesting times, forging your personal and professional identities, attempting to make sense of these changes, seeking opportunities, celebrating successes, as well as agonizing over the failures that come to all of us at one time or another. It's perfectly natural to feel uneasy about change or about the future. There's no denying that ahead lies an endless chain of choices and decisions that each one of you will have to make. It's been said that change is one of the few constants in life. I'll add to that belief of the things that will change in ways you never anticipated at the very moment you commit yourself to a specific course of action. This is the phenomenon of challenges we face every day in life. You should welcome the intrigue of change and the opportunities that accompany it in the same way that your parents, friends, role models, and teachers have. Meet the challenge with confidence in your ability to adapt and with the conviction that every opportunity can be turned in to your advantage. On my graduation night some 30 years ago, the world was different. At least it was simpler from a technological point of view. There was a great new innovation back then called the microwave oven. Desktop computers were still a dream. Organ transplants, largely a fantasy. We had yet to land on the moon, and you had your choice of between ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS on the television. As a graduate back then, your goal was to get a college education and be a professional, start a small business, or work for a big company until you retired, or go straight to the workforce as an employee of one of the big area's manufacturing companies just located a mile or so from here. Well, the world sure doesn't look the same today in terms of technology or choices. Yet I'll bet the feeling the same mix of anticipation and anxiety that ran through me and my classmates 30 years ago. It's difficult to predict the future. Microsoft's Bill Gates once said that 640 kilobytes of RAM should be enough for any human being. Even billionaire visionaries don't get it right every time. But there are some certainties out there in the haze of tomorrow. One safe call is that technology will continue to reshape the world as it provides incredible access to vast amounts of information. For example, it's now possible to sit at a computer terminal, say at Carnegie Mellon University, where several of the graduates are going, and participate in a live, interactive lecture by an engineering professor at a college in Japan, or log into a video library at 2 a.m. to get interactive help with your calculus homework. They call it distance learning. In a few years, you'll be able to attend courses from a number of colleges over the internet or through live remote lectures and classes, or troll vast electronic libraries. In the business world, this technology is allowing companies to create what they call virtual teams of workers and outside experts scattered in offices across the country who communicate over networks and work together to do everything from crunching numbers to designing sophisticated jets. Those of you who go directly into the business world or onto the shop floor will find your company's increasing dependency on technology as well. Not just word processors in the offices, but sophisticated computer-controlled machinery that let them create higher quality products with just fewer people. Everything from pure steel, better cars, to perfectly cooked French fries. And again, please don't forget the ketchup. What does this all mean? One thing, you'll find that your value will be measured in terms of your knowledge. Just about every newspaper or magazine article predicting future job markets refers to something called the knowledge worker. Knowledge workers are the people in highest demand, whether it's Microsoft or McDonald's. Being a knowledge worker means several things. One, that you have expertise in a particular field like computer programming, healthcare, engineering, or business management. Even more important, it means that you can apply that knowledge to solve problems, manage people, or seize new opportunities. Street smarts, the ability to apply your knowledge to recognize situations and solve problems, is just as important as what you learn in school. Having both will put you a step ahead of that graduate who gets along great with the computer screen but can't relate to coworkers or cope with anything that deviates from the formula or otherwise lacks common sense. You're going to need both types of smarts. The futurists say, along with a great deal of flexibility. Statistics tell us that you'll switch jobs and maybe careers at least 6 times before you retire. That's once every 7 years. Some of you will be lucky enough to find a career you love on the first try and stay in it throughout your working life. Others will try several careers until they find the one that works for them. For example, I was a teacher before I moved into the business world that led me to Heinz. I enjoyed teaching, particularly the shorter days and the summers off, but I never regretted the move because of the challenges and opportunities are boundless. As you move through life, you'll continue to gain knowledge with every turn of the road. You'll also gain the experience to apply that knowledge in new ways to your professional and personal lives. My advice, make change a reflection of your flexibility. There's a common thread that runs through the life story of every successful person, whether it be the Hiltons, the Bill Clintons, the Sally Rides, the H.J. Hineses, the Jackie Robinsons, the Sandra Day O'Connors, the Henry Fords, and countless others in every field of endeavor. They share the clearness of thought to set high goals and personal standards, the drive and dedication required to stick to a plan of action, the common sense for accurate self-assessment and assessment of their environment, and the perseverance for staying on course to achieve even greater goals. Today, graduates, is an affirmation of your readiness to confront the interesting times in which we all live. Your parents and teachers have provided you with a strong foundation that will serve you well in the years ahead. But realize you've just completed one lap of a wonderful journey. Along with your teachers and parents, you'll meet new mentors. You will have your own family. Chance encounters with strangers on the street may evolve into lasting friendships. You will meet neighbors, bosses, heroes, and villains as you finish more laps of your life. Take the best of what each leg of the journey has to teach. Emulate what's wise and avoid what isn't. And I hope you learn the most important lesson of all, that those who matter will judge you by the positive impact you have on the world and the others around you. My wish for each of you in the years ahead is that you will measure achievement and satisfaction in terms of standards of matter. The people you've helped, influenced, mentored, touched, and nurtured. And as you take these steps forward, never forget that you're graduating from the Still Valley, an area rich in tradition, an area that has shared great athletes, lawyers, educators, and business leaders with many states and nations. But most of all, it has provided us with a deep heritage which everyone here can be very proud of. So like others before you, go for it, because the opportunities are indeed unlimited. I'd like to leave you with a quote from Mark Twain, who said, "When I was 18, I thought my parents were stupid. When I turned 21, I was amazed at how intelligent they had become in just 3 short years." On behalf of everyone here, including all you highly intelligent parents, please accept my sincere congratulations and best wishes for what I know will be a very bright future. Thank you.
To present a special award this evening, it's my pleasure to introduce the 1997 Student Representative to the Board of School Directors. She was the liaison student between student government and school government. She did a noble job representing the students to the Board of School Directors. Please welcome Ms. Gail Gillespie.
On behalf of the Still Valley High School graduating class of 1997, accept our sincere thanks for your attendance here this evening and for your inspiring words. From your position as president of Heinz USA, you surely have an idea of what awaits us as our lives move to the next level. Please accept this plaque as a token of our esteem and appreciation of your many accomplishments in business, in education, and in life. It reads in part, in recognition of his outstanding accomplishments in the business world and his pursuit of excellence in education, Jeffrey Berger is presented with the annual Still Valley School District Distinguished Alumni Award on this 5th day of June 1997. This plaque is yours and the other will be hung on our wall of distinguished alumni in the senior high school lobby. Thank you.
This will be put on the wall. We're going to keep this and put this on our wall. Okay? All right, get the cameras. Wind up those camcorders. The class asked me to tell you a few things. Notice what I said, tell. Don't go buying me any clothes. You'll never ground me again. A car would be nice. If the school calls now, I'll talk to them. Get a caterer, tired of grandma cooking. And how about just cash only, and finally, we love you. The principal of the high school will now give the proclamation of graduation as directed by the Department of Pennsylvania Education. Welcome, please, Mr. Raymond Supak.
At this time, I would like to call upon the president of our school board, Mrs. Robin Guy, to join me at the podium. Mrs. Guy, having fulfilled the requirements mandated by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Education and the Still Valley School District, it is my pleasure to introduce the Still Valley High School graduating class of 1997.
Dion Anderson. Quinn Lynn Crawford. Dan Brugus. Natalie Marie Chedwick. Matthew Booton. Laura Bell. Jeffrey Thomas Bakota. Jamie Ann Barca. Chris Patrick Waters. And presenting Tiffany America Baker's diploma is Mrs. Eldine Coleman. Jeremy Zuger. T. Chan. Jason Adam Brickner. Michelle Irene Chiodo. Richard Breyer. Julie Ann Dietrich. Michael M. Conroy. Lisa Jeanette Hartman. David Paul Cherub. Gail Lynn Gillespie. Nick Canavine. Autumn Lynn Fennel. Michael Vandriak. Rachel Yvonne Sarah Dragonoski. Matthew Bergman. Nicole L. Esper. Michael John Callahan. Katie Elizabeth Getzy. Lawrence Cardillo. Rebecca Grimm. Robert Kokenauer. Carrie Ann Kasich.
Ryan Michael Furchak, presented by his father, Ray Furchak. Jacqueline Krista Haddad. Andrew Edward Fedoris. Kimberly Lee LeBrier. I'll get this name right. Raymond D. Durham. Tanya Marie Costco. Jason Darian. Shara Nicole Tab. Adam DeVerne. Stacy Cornish. Mike Dugan. Tara Marie Leonard. Chuck. James Charles Steffi. Holly Bridget Linsenbigler. Bruce. Jay Cherp. Barbara Caroline Lutka. Bryce Andrew Camp. Melvina Woods, presented also by Mrs. Coleman. Mark Edward Johnston. Beth Ann McAllister. Michael Robert Humenick. Amanda Jean Marini. Robert Brian Hill. Shanna Lyles. Robert W. Gallagher. Kathleen Mamula. Dawn Gifford. Jennifer Maxwell. Eric J. Hunt, was presented by Hazel Hunt, his aunt. Lisa Marie Morrison. Chad Anthony Cans. Deidre Elizabeth Mulligan.
Doug Segoli. Jenny Mae Pinkerton. Michael D. Pierce. Tracy Ann Parker. Jeffrey Wayne Urban. Weanne Nguyen. Wes Barefoot. Sarah Beth Murphy. Quang Wong. Heather Lee Murphy. Mark Fitzpatrick Weckerly. Lynette Marie Olson. Lance Patrick Yozel. Kara Perhax. Scott Majdick. Allison Catherine Madigan. Joseph E. Papuga. Kristen Schmid. Zoe Nguyen. Kelly Marie Sabo. Lance Morose Jr. Ebony Shanice Reagan. Derek T. Morrison. Clea Janice Presley. Phil Mariani. Aaron Maureen O'Leary. Howard Morton. Kelly Renee Reno. Brian Joseph Neske. Melissa Lynn Santiago. Joseph D. Strom. Kara Diane Sarwine.
Joseph Sedlak. Christy Lynn Tunney. Christopher S. Sabo. Kelly Ann Wolak. Nicholas Rosso. Lalita Nicole Small. Timothy Ferris. Denise Marie Schmidt. Nicholas Mark Lauda. Megan Lynn Sloan. Scott Edward Pisula, diploma presented by his mother, Barrett teacher Joanne Pisula. Shalimar Shamise Stewart. John Sabo. Heather Stoljinsky. James Christopher Sedlak. Nicole Lynn Umba. Michael John Trainer. Kevin Michael Stuck. Robert Allen Tobos Jr. Alan Christopher Schultz. Matthew Stephen Marcinko. Nok Bick Nguyen. Todd J. Simcoe. Amy Elizabeth Varga. Brian Schmood. Bonnie J. Huzdovich. Graduating with honors is omitted from the program tonight, Martin Alexander Savolskis. Homasi Smith. Matt Smart. Diploma presented by his father, School Board Director John Smart, and his mother, Carol Smart, third grade elementary teacher at Park. William Michael Sharkey. Theodore Joseph Stevens, Jr. Gary Vincent Buck. Lawan Harper. Jay Hunt.
The acceptance of diplomas will now be proclaimed by the president of the senior class, Miss Christy Tunney.
The class of 1997 has matured greatly since we first gathered at Steel Valley High School. We've laughed and cried together, shared our fears, hopes, and dreams for the future, and grown into young adults. Realizing the rewards that can be attained through hard work, we are eager to face the world and its many obstacles and challenges. Tonight, as we gather one final time as a class, we understand that no one knows what the future may hold, but we are confident that we will each achieve success and happiness. On behalf of the Steel Valley High School class of 1997, I proudly accept these diplomas and assure you of our readiness to face the world and begin the next phase of our lives.
The class of 97 asks that you remain in your seats till all the seniors have vacated the fence area. The class will exit after the board, administration, guests, and faculty, and they will go through our traditional receiving line. The seniors will have their traditional hat toss over by the light stand in that vicinity. Before the alma mater, the class would like to thank the following. And bear with me on this, please. It's important that these people receive thanks for the many hours of work that they put into this event. Mr. Supak, Mr. McAllister, Mr. Wilkinson, Mrs. Keener, Mr. Garin, Mrs. Kranak, Mrs. Orkus, Mr. Adams, Mrs. Gabeinhart, Mr. Colton, Mr. Isidore, Mr. Adamski, Dr. Grimm, Mrs. Marichko, Mrs. Cornetta, Mr. Vettel, our terrific maintenance custodial staff who turned this place from a forest a few days ago into a very, very beautiful field this evening. Also, special thanks to Diane's Flower Shop, and very special thanks to Mr. Bugle, Allison Madigan, Katie Thomas, Mr. Toth, and the entire junior class for making everything possible. Finally, the class of 97 would like to thank the VIPs in the stands. Will the parents of our graduates please rise for our acknowledgement? Now the class wanted all of you to join them in singing the alma mater, which they sing weekly. And everyone must sing or there will be a detention. It's on page 2 of the academic hymnal. So would you please rise for the Steel Valley alma mater, and everybody has to sing. Drive safe, have fun. Thank you, and good night.